So you have your perfectly built model sprayed with your base coat of choice and have pulled out your paints, ready to throw down some colors to make your creation shine on the tabletop. When you grab it in your grubby little hands and you realize this is probably not ideal. So you ask yourself, what would Dave from Mob Rules have to say? Well, have no fear, dear viewer. I can tell you there is no right or wrong way to hold a mini while painting. As I said in my last video, there are schools of thought on the topic. When I was a kid growing up painting my first minis back in the 80s, you had one way. Fingers. Was it ideal? No. However, it was all we had back then, back in the 80s, when we had to trudge to the game store on foot uphill both ways just to get, never mind. Fingers work just fine. You have to be careful when holding by hand not to smear or wipe off the paint you just applied as you're shifting the model around, and there's always the chance of dropping it while you're trying to get it into just that right position. But you know what? If that's your style, just know you aren't wrong for preferring it. However, as hobbyists aged, we discovered there had to be an easier way for aging hands to hold on to a mini. So enter blue tack and an object. I say object because there's no defined choice. I know folks who use baby food jars, cork, or even blocks of wood. So all you need for this method is some blue tack, or poster putty as it's sometimes called, and an object that you can readily hold. Blue tack and poster putty is readily available at most major stores fairly inexpensively, and the object is, well, costs however much you want it to. It can be free. You can find it by the roadside if you like. You just stick the putty to it, and you just take and stick the model to it like that, and now you have the ability to shift the model around with much less chance of dropping it, and almost no chance of smearing paint as you spin it around and move it to get into the right positions. The cons of this particular method, though, in my experience, are the very slim chance the model will drop off at the most inopportune time. It's very rare, but it does happen to me. A lot. More than once. Then there is my favorite method. The Citadel painting handle. It's as though science saw need and filled it. It takes the best of the tack and object and turns it into a modern marvel. I know in just 10,000 years from now, archaeologists are going to unearth one and absolutely revel in its majestic nature. For me, well, it's the best thing there is. The grip is perfectly shaped for my hands, and the spring loading and unloading mechanism makes it really easy to get your miniatures in and out. I like it a lot. The pros and cons of this method are very simple. It has absolutely the same benefits as the tack and object while eliminating the chance of putty failure. You get to shift it around as easily as you want to get to all the hard spaces you're trying to get to, like the swole cock plate. However, it is the most expensive option at $8 American. Different prices in other countries, of course, but the exchange rate is about the same. But I don't want you just to take my word for it. Here are a few testimonials of people that have used the handle.
I love the Citadel handle. It makes painting models a breeze.
Yeah, I love the painting handle.
I use them to make sure I don't scuff the paint when I'm moving them around.
They're even great for cooking!
I cooked that.
I loved it.
As a completely unbiased and unaffiliated member from Mob Rules, I like to say that these painting handles are the best. They have raised my game from Babytown Frolics to world class. I prefer them in the batch painting configuration.
Now, before you all jump on me and call me a sellout and a GW shill, just know it's not like Games Workshop is making it rain these painting handles on me every time I talk about them. It would be awesome if they did, but they aren't. This vlog is in no way sponsored by GW. Heck, it's not even sponsored by anybody. It's barely sponsored by me. Honestly, I feel like the painting handle has just seriously upped my game. My hands feel steadier when I'm holding it. I feel like I can just do better. But you know what? No matter which method you prefer, be it object and tack, the handle, or whatever the hell this thing is, or just fingers, it's honestly about what makes you most comfortable while you paint. So as always, I've been Dave from Mob Rules. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel for more awesome hobby goodness. Now get out there, paint up your models, and have some fun.